Pardon me and my tone. You can't step to my throne. They ain't working like me. I did this on my own. You asking where we been, huh? I don't know where to begin, huh? All this dirt on my skin. I just came here to win. I'm more than a man, I'm a monster. Somebody call a pastor, doctor. I got a 6 sense for imposters. So now I'm coming for the whole roster. It's not a game, why you playing with me? You could double back, lose track, try and hang with me. It must be in my veins, something you can't tame, cause I break the chains. Can't control me. I got the power, I got the keys, cause I break the chains. They try to hold me, I'ma push back, just wait and you'll see. Please excuse me, your honor, but you can't hold me no longer. Can't you feel the vibrations? I broke out and left traces. Go ahead, try to catch me if you can, man. You'll be looking all night, I'm the Sandman. New York, London to Japan. I'ma show the whole world who I am. Boom, boom, boom. Major look.
Once again, thanks for tuning in. You're listening to World Combat Sports. Hey, happy Monday to everyone who had to get up, go to work, provide for themselves and their family. Shout out to you always, man. Blessings upon blessings as you go out here and jumpstart your week. You know what I mean? Appreciate the day one and the current supporters of WCS Media. Yes, sir. You are truly appreciated each and every time, each and every day. You tune in and support the channel. Do me a favor, hit the like button, share the content, and tune in and drop your input. I like engaging with the supporters in the live chat. Everyone have their own opinion. That's what makes it so good. So let's get right down to it. If you didn't know, now you know. This past weekend in Alabama, Gadsden, Alabama, shout out to 116 Box Promotion. Teen Williams Jr. was on deck. He improved his boxing register to 19 victories, 0 defeats, 12 coming by way of stoppage. Shout out to the boy wonder 150% for getting it in once again. Hey, it's a method to the madness in raising up boxers in the sport. You know, I salute his pops and the team, you know, especially his pops being the creative mind, Michael Williams Sr. There are not many father-son tandems out here in the sport. And you have to commend the ones who are still out here getting it and doing it the right way. And one thing you will notice about, Williams Jr. is that he can box. He can absolute box. He is a pure boxer, showman, and an entertainer. And he's at a point right now where he totally understands what that means in using defense and use the variety of his boxing cachet. I mean, not everybody knows how to do that. You know, they'll step through the ropes and pretty much if their opponent want to get physical and make it into a brawl, they start brawling. They try to prove a point. But I've seen enough of his fights to say the man is matured into a man. You know what I'm saying? Outside the ring and inside the ring. So, you know, it's good to see you out here continue to improve, sitting at an amazing 19-0. Man, it's been a journey and it still ain't over. So I want to give a congratulations to Teen Williams, man. We was out there in Gadsden, Alabama. Amazing fight card. He was the co-main event. It was good to see him go in there and put in that work once again, earning a second round stoppage. And I appreciate everyone who absolutely tuned in to check him out. I be on deck. Salute WCS, respect the grind. Always, what's up with 150? I see dudes running from the young cat. I seen you had him in 300 about a week ago. Yeah, man, you know, they doing it, in my opinion, the right way. They're not rushing anything. It's not as easy as people think to go up here and earn a record like that. A lot of people love to say, you know, they call other boxers bums and canned goods and all that. Well, canned goods is something I say. But peep this out though. What you running for? What you running for? Why you try to run to the top, man? Goddamn, do it the right way. Take your time. Be strategic about it. Use your tactics. And make sure you earn enough to the point where you get that reimbursement in the end, where your hard work pays off. You know, that's what it's all about. You get cash running out the chute, and they think you have to get to a certain number right away. And it's not that easy. Just look at Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. You know how many fights he had without a loss. And a lot of people look at his record and say he didn't fight nobody. But in boxing, there's a lot of fighters who don't fight anybody. The world just don't produce killers like that, like I always say. I don't want to call it a murderer's row. You know, I don't want to call it a murderer's row. I just want to call it, like, give me top 20, top 30 of individuals that can compete with the top 5, the top 7 in each sanctioning body in that division. You know, so look at Michael Williams Jr. as one of those individuals that continue to improve. He's trained by Roy Jones Jr., who's in Russia. You know, he had a fight, I believe, with Chris Eubanks Jr. Chris Eubanks picked up another victory. Congrats to him. And, you know, it was a Michael Williams Jr. weekend. So, man, y'all continue to support the young warrior, man. They're doing big things as always. Continue to support him. It may be some big news coming down the pipe about a fight with Williams, but I can't let that out the bag right now. I have to, you know, be patient and wait for the word to actually materialize so I can speak on the fight. I hope it does happen. It's going to be fire. It's going to be stupid fire. What they say, stupid fire. You know what I'm saying? King Mitch on deck, man. I didn't see you on YouTube, but shout out to King Mitch on deck. Combat, what up? What's good to everyone that was on deck, man? You know, if you don't follow Michael Williams Jr., the boxer, on IG, go ahead and do that, man. Pass the word. Check him out on IG. And he a good dude, man. Regardless of what you know, he a good dude when it comes down to it. He's not on IG like that. You know, he's pretty much handling a stable full of stallions right now, like young men should be doing. He ain't on here arguing with motherfucking bulls and bucks. That mother up there organizing his stables of stallions, goddammit. You know what I'm saying? But that's the way it should be, man. He does have his number of haters that's out here, and it's always gonna be like that. But it's not so much him; it's individuals that call him out and try to get a fight. But but check this out though. I know there's some people that's gonna hit me up down here in Atlanta, and some people don't see me on site, and you know they'll pretty much make their way over and ask me about Williams Jr. I'm gonna tell you straight up, you're not gonna get a fight through me for him, and it's not gonna happen that way. You can say what you want, but you're not gonna get a fight with him through me. It's his pops, his Roy Jones Jr., and you know them the two names you're gonna have to go through to get a fight. Now on top of that, you're gonna have to understand that where his record at right now, you're gonna have to make sure the money is right. You're gonna have some type of benefit to it. So he's just not fighting, you know, individuals that's out here to make a name for themselves. He's busy trying to build up his record. And there's a whole lot that goes into that, which his pops can take care of. You know what I'm saying? So don't feel some type of way about me supporting the fighter when it's only one of me. I said, I mean, come on, man. It's been a while, man, supporting Team Williams. So don't bring to me stuff that I can't account for. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to hold me accountable for something I can't account for. If you're mad with them, you need to speak with them. You know what I'm saying? Get the fight. If you get the fight with them, so be it. But it's not going to be easy. So shout out to Team Williams Jr., man, getting it in once again. Congrats to earning the Alabama State welterweight title. The belt looked damn good too. You know what I'm saying? The belt looked damn good. I ain't gonna lie to you. If you haven't already seen, man, I want to talk on Teofimo Lopez, Devin Haney. They met. It was a the zone card, that happened, which I don't have too much to talk about that. I want to talk about the encounter. All right. Once again, I want to talk about this encounter because the encounter of Teofimo Lopez and Devin Haney, it seems like everybody is talking about that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has something to say about the encounter. So check this out. Let's talk on it. Let's speak on this encounter, man. The encounter between two undefeated lightweight world champions. Now, I'm a pre-warn you like I always do. This is going to upset and agitate some people of what I'm about to say about this encounter and the words that was exchanged in this encounter. And as a grown-ass man, that's in his 50s, I'm like, I look at this different than a lot of young cats going to look at it. This frame right here tells me a lot about what's going on, about an individual's discipline and how they handle tense situations. I'm going to play the video, and I'm just going to stop it periodically to give my commentary, because I look at this like at this point in the game, right? Just the same way I look at Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence encounter. Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence is much older. They was much more mature about it. They was calm, but yet straight to the point. You know what I'm saying? They wasn't all erratic. They handled that shit like OGs. Like they was cool, calm. They had Bob Arum around there. They had some of their squad around there. You know what I'm saying? But this right here, this encounter right here, to me, it just shows that there's still some growth to be had in a situation where both of them has a fight coming up. Both of them have a fight. So once again, just like, we seen situations that happened before with Teofimo Lopez and Devin Haney name conversation. And then we had, Gary Russell's situation where, it went to Devin Haney or Terrence Crawford. It was just a lot of talk, but really we don't have a forecast as to when this shit is going to touch down on the runway. When are we going to land this motherfucker and say we have a fight? Not anytime soon. Not anytime soon. So this right here, it don't tell me anything except it was good for entertainment. But I liked it though. I like how Teofimo handled himself in this situation. For real, man, I'm telling you. People already know, my support for Teo, but that's not even it, man. Like Devin has, I don't know how many top names in lightweight division is ducking him. I can say without any doubt and hesitation that Devin Haney has been ducked at the lightweight division. I will say that now. I've seen it play out, and I've seen motherfuckers ducking him from Javier to Ryan Garcia. You know what I'm saying? Oh my God. It just doesn't make any sense And then to Jojo Diaz, who a fighter I respected, but I don't know what's going on. I guess he's trying to run where the money's at with Ryan Garcia. I get it, but it's a duck. You're part of the Duck Masters Coalition. Real talk. You're right behind Ryan Garcia. But peep this out, though. Let me pop this video in for you. Let's take a look.
Okay. Y'all fake it till y'all make it. Y'all fake it till y'all make it.
So look, so hold up. I'm just pausing it right now because Teofimo Lopez walked up on that motherfucker like he was a G, man. Seriously, I'm being honest. Look how Teofimo walked up. He said, "Y'all gonna fake it till you make it. Y'all fake it till you make it." He's coming already with that. Yeah, what's up, nigga? I'm here. Let's talk this shit. This ain't our first time meeting. This is not our first time meeting.
Okay. Y'all fake it till y'all make it. Y'all fake it till y'all make it. What y'all do, man? Y'all don't want to fight. Y'all don't want to fight.
We don't want to fight. We can make it happen.
We can make it happen.
We can definitely make it happen.
You're on the zone now.
Why you so much?
Don't talk that.
My thing is like, yo, y'all do all this,
When you
but
finish
y'all
with
don't really want to
Cambosos,
fight.
what you gonna do? Can we do it right here on the zone?
Yo, we can do it anywhere.
You here?
We can do
You
it
here?
anywhere. ESPN, the zone, it don't
Don't say no
matter.
anywhere.
It don't
right here on
matter.
the zone. You right here.
Yo, y'all definitely be on
We
that,
take that
man.
belt, that don't mean nothing.
When you finish with Cambosos,
Y'all hold that belt. I'm surprised y'all ain't bring it
we
today.
got a guarantee.
I'm
we come
surprised
out
y'all
and
ain't bring it today.
January. Let's do that.
Are we gonna fight
Right back to
on
back.
the zone, right? Are we gonna fight on the zone?
Look at y'all.
Exactly.
Look at y'all, man.
What you
What you
talking
about?
about?
Yo, I'm definitely, oh man, I eat shit, bro. I eat you. I'm hungry. I eat with my
He
motherfucking
said,
hands.
"I'll eat you."
I eat with my motherfucking hands.
Are we doing it or
I eat with my
not?
motherfucking hands. No. I just want to let him
Look
know.
at that look.
I just want to let him
T.O. ain't
know
playing.
what I'm all about. I just want to know what's up.
Let's make it
You
happen.
don't want to do it. You don't want to do it.
Because I ain't pussy, nigga. Nah, never been. Never been. Not on my blood. Never been, bro.
So Devin Haney called him a
Yo, you
pussy
been
over and
fat
over
from a
again.
silver spoon your whole life.
T.O.
I
said
know that
never.
shit. Hell, yo, sign the fucking contract.
Nobody, bro.
What contract? What happened to the meeting with Bob? 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 Exactly. What happened to the meeting? No, I'm not anybody. What the fuck? Don't test me. You know that? Anytime.
We right after Cambosos.
T.O.'s been meaning though, man. He on that shit every day.
Anytime.
It's a deal.
Come on, man.
It's a deal.
Come on, man.
Excuse me. Let me go. Let me go.
I ain't pussy. Nah, bro. Never been. Never been. I shit with your father because he the boss. Nigga.
He's the boss. Take on him. He won. Take on him.
You ain't running shit, bro. We run shit, bro. You ain't got no partnership with nobody. We got partnership with people.
I know that's how you want to do it.
Who you with?
I know that's all this shit. This shit is whack. This shit right here is whack.
After
It's whack, bro.
He shook on
How
it.
you see
It's
it.
after Cambosos on the zone.
We'll fucking thank you. We'll thank on that shit.
That's it. You handle your business with Cambosos.
Back it up.
Let's
do this.
Watch this shit.
Let's do this shit.
Everything. Watch this shit. And when I knock this nigga out, watch this shit. How y'all gonna
I don't want you guys stepping up to us after we fucking knock your ass out.
All right.
Yeah, of course we gonna put them on the line, motherfucker. I want, and we putting shit that's real.
You got on the 27, you got on the 4.
Good job, chap. Let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen, brother. Let's wait.
This way, champ.
I was born, baby. That's the difference.
Let him go.
All right. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to post that. That was a little bit long because some individuals are perturbed at the first time I went at Devin Haney with Michael Williams Jr. So everything I post, it immediately gets freaking taken down and all this other shit. I wonder why. You know what I'm saying? Like that didn't start going on till we was calling out freaking Devin Haney for a fight. And all of a sudden, anything I post about this, that, and the other, especially the zone, my shit get taken down. And then you have, Ghost Riders, man, is up here. They'll sit behind the screen. Then they'll anonymously report your shit. But anyway, let's get back to that video. Foul player on deck. What's good? Kind of local sports on deck. Salute to you, man. So let's talk about this, right? It don't matter. Look, Mitch. None of them are clowns, right? Neither of these guys are clowns right here. But I'm gonna be honest with you. If I'm looking at what I've seen early between these two, before they was world champions, I seen them in person. I was there for that first, video that I have the same footage that Barbershop has. I was right behind Barbershop. Matter of fact, I have that same footage. I still have a recollection of everything that went down. And the primary subject, right, pretty much from Devin Haney was money. He's making more money, this, that, and the other. And I'm not knocking him for that. He is making money. He's doing what he's supposed to do, right? I'm not knocking Haney for that. But T.O. was even reserved then. He didn't come really hard. That's just like how you handle yourself under pressure, especially if the person that's in front of you, that you have an issue with. And with these two, we're talking about boxing. They're future opponents. They may be in the ring sometime in the next, 6 months to a year. It may happen. I don't know. But coming full circle up to this right here, man, I have to give it to Teofimo Lopez the way he handled himself, right? The reason why I'm saying that, it wasn't over the top. This is not the first time that you ran into one another. Y'all have familiarity. Y'all have sparred. Y'all have met in person. I was right behind T.O. when he walked up to Devin Haney and they encountered at the MGM that day. I was right there. This is what I'm talking about. If you understand what you said last time, don't bring money into this situation right now, Devin. That's all I'm saying. It ain't about money no more right now in this conversation. It's just all about what has happened and transpired from the first meeting up to now. It's a lot of shit done happened in between that gap to talk about. That's what we want to hear. We don't want to hear who's making more than who anymore. Second, when you walk up to a man that's the unified, undisputed lightweight champion, right? And we're going to get to the undisputed part. When you walk up to one of your divisional compeers and he has more belts than you, it's just a maturity situation with me. As if let's say I was walking up to Conno Loco, right? And we have had a situation in the past. He know what I'm about. I know what he about. And I'm up here calling him pussy. It makes no relevant sense for me to go up there and call another man who I know is about to smoke, but I'm going to call him pussy. Over and over again. The only time that you call another man pussy like that to his face, if you're trying to provoke them. And the only way that individual standing across from you gets provoked is if they really take it serious. Like, okay, you're trying to embarrass me. Or you think I'm easy right now. You think I'm easy. I thought, even though we don't like each other, I thought we was better than that. And that's what I got with T.O. Like, it's not going to happen. Two grown men, you're not going to go up here and tell somebody that you know that's about to smoke that they pussy, right? It's just something you don't do, man. It's a code amongst men, some men rather. But for Haney to call T.O. pussy over and over again, right? It didn't make any sense to me. I just liked how T.O. walked up on the scene and he said, Y'all gonna fake it till you make it. Like he was talking to him like he was in a movie. I don't know why Haney at this stage in his boxing career, and he has his amateur all the way up to professional. I don't know why he was leaning into with his chin out, yelling and screaming. You gotta have more composure, man. You come up there iced out. You know what I'm saying? Your pops is Bill Haney. Y'all been in the game for a minute. Your pops is seasoned to this shit. Teofimo Jr., his pops is seasoned to this shit. The conversation y'all should be having is more like y'all was sitting at the table like Bob Arum and Don King. Not at that age, but y'all should be looking at each other standing up erect and talking that shit in a calm voice like, you don't mean that. Just like T.O. said, never in my life. Never in my life. Everything I got, I had to earn. Yeah, the silver spoon you're on top. He's pretty much talking that calm shit. Like he's getting straight to the point. It ain't no bullshit. It ain't no garbage. He's getting straight to the motherfucking point. And the only time that he thought the drop nigga, right, was that he felt like, okay, what I'm saying, he continued to say the same thing. So he's like, nigga, hold up. I know you're trying to do it. It's almost like you're trying to do it for social media. That's what I didn't like, man. Devin Haney is bigger. I don't know. He's more for the culture of social media or whatever. Because if somebody want to get up here and exaggerate pussy, why don't we ever use pussy in a way that, hey, why don't you go get some pussy or something? Why don't you go out here and get you some pussy and calm the fuck down? That's what a real OG will say. Like, listen, I understand you're upset about this, but go find you a chick. It don't matter who the chick is, one that you might know. Take some time out, chill with her for a minute. Y'all have a conversation about whatever you mad with. Because you bringing this energy to me, it's not going to be the outcome that you ever hope for. I just want you to be able to have a second chance to approach me the right way. So go find you some pussy, man. Spend some time with it. Love on it. Then the next time we meet, you won't have so much energy built up. Like you actually talking to a pussy. Do we understand that? You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's what I got from T.O. Like, he was calm, man. You could tell he done grown up. He done got married. Baby. You can tell, bro. He walked up there like a grown-ass fucking man, dog. I have to give him his salute for that. He walked up there like he's grown into a man. Even when I seen him at MGM, he wasn't as boisterous. But check this out, though. If you're complaining about a boxer such as him winning the titles and going through Masayoshi Nakatani, Richard Comey, and Vasil Lomachenko, who was top 2 on the pound-for-pound list, and for him to win the titles and then not brag about it, you out your motherfucking mind, man. You are out your damn mind. What is he supposed to do? Act like he's in a motherfucking, Father of Latter-day Saints. He's in the motherfucking, he's going to accept the Lord and Savior, and Jesus is Lord and Savior. He's supposed to become a Christian now and be all reserved and act like an usher. And every time you see him, he's just walking in a straight line. Mm-hmm. Yes. How you doing? Nice to meet you, sister. Nice to meet you too, brother. Yes, God is good. God is good. I mean, he's supposed to brag, man. He went out there and earned that shit the hard way. And when he said he got his the hard way, man, he got it the hard way, even from the Olympics. Now, has he changed a little bit, in my opinion? Stuff that I'm not going to get into. Yeah. He has, turned up a little bit, but that's to be had, man. Like, believe this, like, who I am, I always say boxers don't owe media shit. You know what I'm saying? Even though we believe they owe us something, they don't owe us anything. And the same go for Teofimo Lopez. Same thing go for Michael Williams Jr. You know what I'm saying? Bud Crawford, you know, 3 of the heavy hitters that I support heavy, man, you know. But I've been with Michael Williams Jr. the most, though. But what I'm trying to get at is that Teofimo Lopez and Devin Haney is nowhere close to signing the dotted line. But I did hear something. If you're going to become a free agent, become a free agent. If you're going to become a free agent, be that free agent. Because to me, it doesn't seem like y'all a free agent. Because I'm hearing Bill go back to the zone. He wants Teofimo Lopez to fight under the zone again if he was to fight Devin Haney. So how is that beneficial to Team Lopez? Do you understand how they've been moving? That's one thing I salute and respect about Team Williams and getting his record the way it is. And also, I look at the fact and respect that if you look at Teofimo's record and how they've been moving, they was in the trenches, man. They was in the trenches. You want them to now all of a sudden be encouraged to go over to the zone. I'm going to tell you, the way his pops think, the way Teofimo thinks, and when the name Haney pops up, they're not going to show that love that y'all are looking for. It don't matter what the skin color is. I've even digressed on criticizing Devin Haney. I've seen motherfuckers duck him. But I'm going to be honest with you. When it comes to Teofimo Lopez and Devin Haney, in this encounter right here, I believe that Teofimo Lopez has shown a sense of maturity in his life. The way he sit up there and verbalized what he was trying to say. That shit was hitting the mark. Not all the rah-rah shit. Some of the quietest motherfuckers I know are the worst. Seriously. They are the worst ones that you don't want to fuck with. You will never know what their backstory is because they quiet as shit and people are more curious about them than they are of other people. And then somebody else might tell you, hey, you know, so-and-so, oh, for real? Didn't know that. But with Teofimo Lopez and Haney, he hit on some points that he said he's food. He said, I eat you. And when his pops was pulling him back, he said, no, I got to let this nigga know. He wasn't overly aggressive. He wasn't getting crazy. He was just, no, I got to let you know, man. This is not the same. I've won titles already. I've ran the gauntlet with Nakatani, Comey, and Lomachenko. I ran the gauntlet, nigga. I have ran the motherfucking gauntlet. People sit up here and was going for Lomachenko damn near all of YouTube. And you want to downplay Lomachenko as if just because Tio went in there and beat him, well, he didn't fight the first. So fucking what? That was his dumbass plan. He didn't fucking fight the first half. So what? His strategy was garbage. When it was time for Vasily Lomachenko to step up and beat somebody, he only had one more belt to get, but he decided to become franchise champion. Cool, we got it. So he stepped up there and fight the one and only belt that's out there remaining that he hasn't won in the lightweight division. That is the IBF championship, y'all. And he gets beat. And he goes up there and say the judge was paid off. He started making all these fucking excuses. I'm going to tell anyone who listened, you can never dilute what Teofimo Lopez did in that instance, ever. You cannot do it. You cannot do it. You can't. You can't say, well, he went in there and took punishment against Nakatani. Well, Devin Haney, he got caught in the 10th round. Even though he was boxing the ears off Linares, he got caught. Now what? I never seen Teofimo Lopez get hurt like Haney did against Linares. So both fighters have faced adversity. Both of them. But when you come to the stiffer competition in this lightweight division, when it comes to the resume, when it comes to the lineup, the roster, y'all cannot continue to pour water on what Teofimo was able to do when he earned his championships. Nakatani was undefeated, 18-0 when he fought Tio. He had more fights than Tio, and he was ranked higher than Tio. It don't give a fuck. Nobody cares or give a damn about what this bullshit ass WBC tournament was, because you know the shit was bullshit. It was fucking bullshit. You can't sit up here and predict that Devin Haney would have won the tournament. You can't predict that. You know why? Because we've witnessed firsthand how corrupt that sanctioning body could be when it comes to these fighters, especially the black fighters. We've seen it. So it's no guarantee that Devin Haney would have won that tournament if Tio would have stayed in there. So I'm going to tell you, from a military background, we never go into a situation with one option. It's never really two options. The process consists of several options in how to get to the mission, accomplishment, the end state that we want. So if you want to criticize Teofimo for redirecting his avenue of approach to get to the end state, then that's your fucking problem. If he want to leave the WBC and go to the IBF, he got to the belts before Devin Haney did. Now, y'all gonna have to understand one thing. I hear a lot of people keep talking like 50-50 and this, that, and the other. Who has fought stiffer competition in the lightweight division? Teofimo Lopez, period. Period. Don't blame him for doing the same thing Vasily Lomachenko did. Vasily Lomachenko petitioned. He was one of the first ones to petition a franchise belt when there was a reason to petition. Look, when Canelo Alvarez did it, it wasn't nobody there basically to petition for. Like, the franchise belt wasn't even in existence. They gifted Canelo Alvarez that opportunity. Then it came for Vasily Lomachenko when he said, you know what, I beat Luke Campbell. I don't want to fight the rest of the year. In between time, I'm going to submit a petition to Mauricio Suleiman to elevate myself to franchise. Now, coming back full circle to this encounter, have we made any more progress with Teofimo and Devin with a potential fight? Absolutely not. Who am I to sit up here and tell you that since Eddie Hearns was on deck, that it was going to be any different? That's not the first time Tio and his pops ran up on Eddie Hearns. You remember the other time that they was trying to get 10 million, 8 to 10 million. Then Eddie Hearns say, pretty much you're not worth 10 million, and try to make fun. Nothing else has become of that moment until now. Eddie Hearns on deck once again. He can come up here and say what he want to say. But I'm going to tell you, T.O. gave Eddie Hearns pretty much what it is. Listen to the words. Listen to the words. Team Haney is still talking about shaking on it, bro. I can't tell you how many times I've seen Senior and Bill on YouTube Live, and they have agreed on stuff, and it didn't mean shit. It meant nothing. Why say shake on it? Shaking of the hands don't mean shit anymore. Nothing, especially in this case. What the hell you want to shake on it for? Shaking on it, it's not like it's a pen in your palm and it's a contract in the other, and y'all doing a goddamn secret handshake. Boom. Once that motherfucker separates, the contract is signed. Why say shake on it? That shit isn't nothing. Shaking on it is worse than a verbal agreement. A verbal agreement, you don't have to make physical contact with anybody. Shaking on it, you up here shaking and making contact with a motherfucker that you know you ain't honoring this shit. You're not honoring a handshake, especially in this situation with Haney and Teofimo. It doesn't make a difference if you shake hands on this shit or not. Team Lopez is not going to fight on the zone unless they get paid to do so because they have the most belts. Let me get to some of these chats. Appreciate everyone for pulling up. I just want to, get started on this live, man. Okay, Mitch say let's do it in January. Junior just be talking. I don't think so, bro. Listen, and like I said from the live, certain things he does be talking, Mitch. I'll say you right on that. But he said do it back to back because listen, that is one man who I have to say that people just be saying he talking shit, but he was talking the same shit before his son was champion, bro. I seen it, I heard it, I've been there. I interviewed him. He was before Teofimo. I knew about the WBC tournament before the public knew about it. When I was covering TO, I knew about the tournament. I knew they was going for the WBC title. I knew when they decided to switch it up and go a different route. I ate lunch with his manager before, several times actually. I have receipts to prove it. His pops pretty much told the boxing public what his plans was for his son. And it happened. You cannot get mad over and over again and talk about he went the IBF route like it was a duck. How the fuck is that a duck? If you went a different direction, but all of a sudden that coming around that curve, it leads to the same destination point. That destination point is for the titles, y'all. And that's what it's about. It's for the motherfucking titles. And y'all have to take that into consideration. Y'all have to bring yourselves to the psychological reality that Teofimo did it better. They have gave Devin Haney absolutely no respect holding on to that WBC title. I understand what power comes with that title. You know what I'm saying? If you get rid of the title, you have to ensure that you're going to, once you make that next decision and you want to become a mandatory, for instance, of Teofimo Lopez, because you're not getting anywhere. This is the only way he's going to get any type of attention from the Lopez, Team Lopez, because if you meet him in person, it's just sloppy. It's fucking sloppy. It's pointless. It's not going to get anything. You're in a lane where there's no way. You can sit up there and beg and plead with Mauricio Suleiman. He has shown his cards. There's no way that you're going to get him to bend and revise his format about the franchise championship. If the franchise say you don't have to fight a mandatory, how are you going to get Mauricio Suleiman to order anything for Teofimo Lopez to fight Devin Haney? But in order for Team Haney to take their respect to another level when it comes to getting in the ring, and this has been said before, but the only way it's going to happen is that you go a different route. Because you're basically on lockdown at the intersection. The storm been there. The lights ain't working. You know how you get those red lights? The lights ain't working at the intersection. You're just waiting for a proper time to cross. You're not going to get any forward progress as the WBC champion as long as Teofimo is the franchise champion. I'm just being honest with you, bro. Jay Dixon on deck. What's good, Jay? How you feeling, bro? This is the whole interaction with some TMZ shit, and Tio been on that BS for a minute. We know what it is, and he's not undisputed. Keep it a buck. Look, Dixon. I appreciate you dropping that. Right, I do keep it a buck. If anybody knows, I keep it a buck. He is absolutely undisputed. Absolutely, and I'm gonna tell you why, there, Dixon. And the reason why I say Teofimo's undisputed, and I've been keeping the buck ever since he picked up the titles and the information on how I look at the sanctioning bodies. Now, I could possibly say, taking your point, and a lot of other people saying he's not undisputed. Mauricio Suleiman said in a video that they're all about evolution and doing away with tradition. You want to stick to the traditional part when boxing has been changing as we know it there, Dixon. How has boxing been changing? Well, it used to be a 3-belt era. You know what I'm saying? It used to be a point where you didn't even have the WBO. It used to be a point where a lot of belts that the new school boxing fans are familiar with wasn't even a part of anything back in the day. They wasn't even relevant. Like if you tell somebody about the WBF belt, a lot of people don't even know unless they pay attention and they've been down there and seen somebody win it. But look, some of your big names are WBF champions. So the reason why I'm telling you this is that boxing has been changing for a long time now. For a long time. You look back at undisputed. Let's just say the heavyweights that was undisputed. Let's just take a look at Lennox Lewis when he had the titles. Did Lennox Lewis have 4 belts back then? Like when we look at some of these fighters who was undisputed, did they have 4 belts? Do we even consider the IBO? Joshua has the IBO, but when you see these belts displayed, what do they display? The WBA, the IBF, and the WBO. Every now and then you would see them display the IBO. Does that mean boxing's changing? I mean, look at it. If we're talking about the WBC and how traditional the belt is and how it's a big part of boxing history, then why are you not saying that about the other sanctioning bodies? Why is there so much recognition on what Josh Taylor was able to do? Why is Terrence Crawford a part of that situation with the 4-belt era? Because it was a change. Those guys are recognized because of the change of what they're a part of right now. That doesn't mean Teofimo Lopez is not undisputed because he doesn't have something that was a part of the old belt era. And the reason why I'm giving him his light on earning these titles there, Dixon, is because Mauricio Suleiman has inserted this franchise belt into 4 areas right now. 3 or 4. He allowed it to be Canelo, Vasyl Lomachenko, Teofimo Lopez. And then once I said Teofimo Lopez earned that franchise belt, right? I said he was going to insert it into a 4th. And who was that? Juan Estrada. They fucked over Ron Fasad once again, who's the mandatory, and they say, you know what? We want the Chocolatito fight. So we're just going to elevate. They can say he petitioned for it all they want. He's going to elevate Juan Estrada, and that's what they did. So we had a 160, 135. And now he inserted into a 3rd division. It's gonna be inserted into another division. And then another division. And then you're gonna have people changing their tune. Look, you're gonna change your tune because Mauricio Suleiman won't be stopped. No one's gonna stop the president of the WBC. He's doing what the fuck he wants to do. And a lot of the Latino fighters are benefiting from this shit. Look, if you want to talk about facts, I'm telling you the facts, bro. A lot of Latino fighters are benefiting from this franchise belt. Right or wrong? Right or wrong, my brother? Right or wrong? Who is benefiting? It ain't the black fighters. Devin Haney is not benefiting from this franchise belt. Who's benefiting from it? Tell me a black fighter that's benefiting from this freaking franchise belt. And I continue to tell you that Teofimo Lopez is undisputed because Mauricio Suleiman has pretty much diluted that belt and said he's moving towards evolution and away from tradition. So if you don't want to accept it, and that's just like me going back 50 years old. I'm going back to when I start watching boxing, and I'm looking at certain individuals who won belts back then, to how the belt system starts slowly and surely transition, and more sanctioned bodies start attaching themselves and earning the right to be considered as a legitimate sanctioned body. That's the same thing with the franchise belt, but in this manner, it included two fighters that was important. They was the top pound for pound fighters in boxing. First of all, was Canelo Alvarez, who potentially had Charlo in the shoot. Potentially had Charlo. Boom, Canelo. And then the next one was Vasily Lomachenko. Two top pound for pound fighters that were the front runners for the franchise belt. Right or wrong? That's a buck, right? Right or wrong? And then here comes a third Latino fighter, Teofimo Lopez. He gets the petition for Vasily Lomachenko for all the marbles in an undisputed boxing match. Wins. It's not Teofimo's fault. It's just him and his pop said, fuck it. If we going at this, we're going all the way. The same thing I said what Team Haney should do. They get a fight with T.O. I know you said you don't like the franchise belt, but petition for the shit so you can clean everything. Windex that motherfucker. Get every belt. Leave them with zero, empty pocket, all that shit. Clean everything off the table. I got every fucking belt in the division, including the WBC. You're going to have to petition for it if you want to prove a point. Not, we don't give a fuck about. Get the belt and then pull a Riddick bow if you want to. Just to prove a point. We won the belts. Let me dump this in the trash. We don't deal with that franchise shit. If that's what you want to do that shit. But don't continue to whine about something that's evident. The reality is, Teofimo has all the belts that's relevant in the lightweight division. Devin Haney, Mauricio Suleiman has attempted to make a mockery and playing around with the value of his belt. We understand the value of what the WBC was, but Mauricio is starting to dilute boxing, and there's no way anyone's going to stop him because this has all been this has been a storm brewing for quite some time. No one is above Mauricio Suleiman in the sport of boxing to stop him. So when you don't have the head of the snake, you're going to have multiple motherfuckers doing what the fuck they want. It's going to be some grimy shit in the grass. It don't fucking matter because boxing has always been an open Serengeti for people to do what the fuck they want to do. Watch how you shed your tears. You might be crying for nothing. Mauricio is not going to change the franchise for Devin. He didn't change it for Charlo. You know what I'm saying? He ain't changed shit, bro. Like, has Charlo got his shot at Canelo? No, because Canelo hadn't made any plans to come back down to 60. Has he made any plans for Devin to fight TL? No. No, man. It don't matter if you depict T.O. as the undisputed or not on these ESPN and all these other plays. It don't fucking make a difference. Mauricio has pretty much set it in stone and made his own motherfucking precedents about his franchise title. And unfortunately, right now, the person that's stuck in Park is Devin Haney. The reason why he's stuck in Park is because the biggest name that's in the lightweight division right now with the belts is Teofimo Lopez. I know Javante is making moves elsewhere and all that. I'm talking about the ones with the most belts. That's Teofimo Lopez, period. Devin Haney definitely ain't as good as popping shit than Teofimo. Teo used that type of talk. The timing of calling Haney a nigga was cringy for me, though. Hey, man, look, that's not even a topic of a conversation to me because I look at it like this, Mitch. If I call you a pussy and I keep on calling you that to your face and you've been letting that shit slide, it's going to be a time you say, listen, nigga, I done goddamn gave you passes. Stop motherfucking calling me that shit. You're going to take this to a different place with different type of energy. Chill with that pussy shit, because how can you sit up here and call another man pussy and he's a unified champion? He about that smoke just like you are. Y'all both fighters in the sport, man. It didn't make any sense to me, bro. It didn't make any sense, bro. For real. We might get this fight in 5 years. J8 on deck. What's good with you, J8? He said we might get this fight in 5 years. No, it'll happen more. It'll happen before that. It says salute, fam. The Kambosos fight would be on the zone. Yeah, exactly. That's why Bill is suggesting they do the fight on the zone. Okay, I'm glad you mentioned that. All right. So, Mitch brought up a good point that the Kambosos fight is happening on the zone. But Mitch, you have to understand one thing. The only reason Top Rank is not in the equation is because they wasn't the second highest bidder next to Triller, bro. That's why. So you believe that Bob Arum is going to continue to allow a big fight with one of his big stars and Teofimo Lopez to happen on another promotion? Absolutely not. Somehow, some way, just like you heard Teofimo Lopez say in the video, what did he say? On ESPN or the Zone. I'm telling you, Lopez, they going for ESPN, man. They're not going for no motherfucking the Zone, dog. They're not going for the Zone. Because deep down inside, they know Eddie is not going to provide them, even though they've had pay issues and bullshit happen with Bob Arum. I'm just saying, if Eddie Hearn is willing to pay them, the fight may happen on the Zone. But who is he signed with? Who has he just reconstructed his contract with? TR. His alliance is not with Eddie Hearns. Team Haney is saying they're independent, but they're still pushing for a single promotion. So are you independent or not? Are you independent or dependent, bro? Which one is it? Because you independent, you can pick and choose. It don't matter. How does Teofimo Lopez benefit from fighting on the Zone? That's what's going to have to be discussed in the details of the contract. But I can tell you this. If I want to go back to J8 5 year, check this out. It may be 5 years in a different division, because I'm gonna tell you what's not gonna happen. You're not gonna say, well, we're gonna do a handshake and say this fight will be on the Zone or whatever the case may be, and then you try to bid yourself in a 50-50 fight. Look, the shit ain't gonna be 50-50 with Haney. I don't care what you saying you're making. They're not gonna do a 50-50 deal with you, and they have more belts. You have a single division to both of these fighters, the lightweight division, but you have multiple belts in the hands of Teofimo Lopez, and you have a single belt in the hands of Devin Haney. A belt that Mauricio himself has diluted when it comes to building up the franchise belt, which has only benefited the Latino fighters. I haven't seen one black fighter get handed down to that franchise belt for their benefit. Not one. Black fighters can't sit up here and say, I don't want that shit. Yeah, you do. You can't sit up here, I don't want that shit. Why? Why not? If it's giving you a source of superiority to treat the next person, the next boxer in line as a subordinate, why the fuck not? You see, you really don't understand the process of boxing, man. Y'all actually think this shit has some structure to it. Boxing don't have no structure. It's a jungle out this bitch. So you got to get in where you definitely fit in. You have to understand what you're capable of hunting and what you aren't. The franchise belt allow you to pick and choose. The only thing about it, you have a step process. You have a medal there that provides you that right. Franchise belt say, I don't have no mandatories. I don't have no mandatories. Fuck it. I can do what the fuck I want. I can fight who I want, still get a check. If I have a tough fighter, that's maybe I don't have to fight him. Look at the shit that's been going on with Devin Haney with all these mandatories. I don't know. Nope, not I. So why the fuck are we still talking about the franchise belt when it comes to one division? Do you know that this is the only division that people are still voicing their concerns? It's incredible. One freaking division. Nobody's talking about Canelo dropping back down to 60 and giving Charlo a hit. Nobody's even talking about that because Canelo's doing what the fuck he want to do. Nobody's talking about Juan Estrada. They can't talk about Lomachenko because he don't have shit. We here on deck. What's good with you? True boxing fans don't give a fuck which network these fights take place on. I damn sure don't. I do, bro. I do. I mean, not so much in a way that I'm thinking of money wise and in the fighters' pockets or anything like that. But I'm just saying, you signed with TR, and just because they didn't bid high enough in a purse bid that failed, doesn't mean they shouldn't be considered to host this fight. What is the problem, man? Like, what is the fucking problem? If you independent, make independent decisions. What is the problem? Why are you promoting the zone if you independent? Leave, make your own decision. Fight on ESPN. That's just like Errol Spence. Errol Spence, man, he went over to the backyard of Kell Brook. Come on, man. This nigga went over to the backyard of Kell Brook. He said, I don't want to hear anything. I'm going over there to get the belt. Man, you got to make those command decisions, man. It might not be the most comfortable, but you have to make those command decisions, man. If you're confident in yourself. Junior and that Nostradamus shit has run its course. Fool said the Kambosos fight would do 2 million PPV buys. Hey, within being considered Nostradamus, you either hit the mark or you don't there, Mitch. You know what I'm saying? He hit the mark when he's supposed to. You got to give him that. Like the Nostradamus, predictions and prognostications, it is very good when you're able to hit it on the mark. Very good. But 2 million PPV buys, no way. Michael Williams Jr. and Sr., what's good, man? Good morning, my brother. How you feeling? What is good with you? Salute and congrats on 150 winning that Alabama State welterweight title, man. Big dog on deck. Salute WCS. Dev got to stop chasing T.O. and Garcia. Unacceptable for T.O. to disrespect Dev and Bill Haney. Big dog, what you mean? Man, I don't know what you mean. I don't know, man. Man, some of y'all have to get on here and explain yourself. Like, man, that's the link if you want the link, man. I don't get it, bro. I don't get what do you mean with this disrespect? What? All I heard was then Devin Haney saying pussy, pussy, pussy forever and a day, bro. Like, why are y'all so sensitive to words? Like, it's cats that still go to certain channels that disrespect all these boxers. I don't see y'all correcting them niggas. What is this disrespect stuff? Like, Bill is the father, just like Michael Williams Sr. is the father to his. You don't hear him talking about, oh, so-and-so disrespected. No, his son ain't gonna say too much, but he is. What are we talking about? Bill is in support of his son. That's what it is, man. That's the arrangement. That's the family build. If they're together in public, how is Teofimo disrespecting Devin and Bill? How is that, big dog? Explain that to me. Elucidate for me, my brother. How are we talking about disrespect, bro? Disrespect is the Ryan Garcias that's pretending they're going to be a mandatory and fight Devin Haney. That's the disrespect when that's supposed to be your boy. That's disrespect. That's fucking disrespect right there. But all this pussy and shit, we heard that bitch ass nigga and all this stuff. We heard that before. That's disrespect. Batman on deck. What's good there, John? That's the only fighters that got it. I guess you're talking about the Bills. The belts. It's the only thing I can think of, man. Fury will be franchised soon. If that is indeed the case, we will only validate my point even more with the way Mauricio Suleiman is running the game. He's running the damn game right now, y'all. Y'all know he's running the game. Y'all know he's running the game, man. What is this disrespect shit? What's disrespectful is the shit Mauricio's doing. That's disrespectful. This man is blatantly doing that shit in our face. And people, all we can do is get on here and do lives about it. You can't stop it. Explain what you mean by disrespect, man. Mel Charlo is secretly franchised by the WBC. I'd like to see it, though. Black fighters have to understand what the change is about. Just because Riddick Bowe chose to do what he did doesn't mean it'll work today. It doesn't mean that shit. Because you got to have the intestinal fortitude to make a command decision. If you want to prove a point to the public on where you stand, you have to take the measures, the extreme measures like Riddick Bowe did. You have to dump that motherfucker in the trash. But be willing and able to understand that there will be repercussions. There will be consequences and repercussions behind it. But check this out. Will those same consequences and repercussions mirror up to where you are already at? If you're not getting any airplay right now to get next to Teofimo Lopez besides an encounter in public, how's it working out for you? How's this shit working out for you? Isn't that repercussions? You ain't going nowhere in the division. You're not going anywhere. So you getting off the title, it takes more than a deep breath. You have to take a deep breath and hold that shit. You have to send that oxygen rush up to the brain because you're about to make a decision that's going to change the landscape right now. It's going to change your momentum. It's going to change the way you wake up in the morning because you get off that WBC belt and say, you know what? I'm tired of this motherfucker fucking with me. I got to make an extreme decision to go this way to get the belt. I got to become his mandatory. If Teofimo Lopez ducked me as a mandatory, everybody will see it that he don't want to fight me, period. It's no more talking. It don't matter from T.O.'s dad. It's no more talking. Say, if I come around the other way, if I come around this corner and I get that mandatory shot, what is it going to be then? Because we already know the IBF holds true to their mandatories. The WBA, they was patient with Alexander Usyk on the sideline to see what was the results going to be between Fury and Wilder. When that cleared up right there, boom, the match was on deck. Boom. When it was affirmed that they was going to fight, boom, that fight took place. The only sanctioning body right now that has that, I'm talking about that perimeter that solid, secured perimeter is the WBC. The WBC has basically elevated the command and control and implement a franchise belt that disallows their fighter, whoever has that belt, to say, I don't have to fight the next man that's in charge. I don't have to fight. No, I do it whenever I feel like it. And just so happened, Devin Haney is the one that's in that slot, man. You heard it before. Gary Russell isn't franchised, but they acting like his title don't matter. Nobody's even challenging the guy. What I believe was going on with G. Russell, and shout out to the Russell brothers, man. I know John Page on deck, man. Much respect to that team. I'll definitely like to see Gary Russell on deck more. But his shit is much deeper than the franchise, period. The reason why, he ain't getting fights that he wants is much deeper, in my opinion, than the franchise. Bill trying to be smooth. He knows the particulars of why the Kambosos fight is on the zone. But he just pulling Teofimo's boss card. I understand that Bob Arum is running shit. Mitch, I don't understand how you believe that Bill is pulling anything. Teofimo was looking to Bill Haney to say, let me talk to you because I know you're the boss. Once again, that is one of those deals where you're basically you're downplaying or you're treating the individual that's in front of you who are competing in the sport, and they're on equal playing fields, Lopez and Haney. But when Teo turned to his father and said, let me, you're the boss, he was basically trying to son Devin Haney. But see, that's up to Devin Haney to never allow that shit to happen like that. That's when you take a sidestep. Forget standing in place with your chin all leaned over. No, motherfucker, you ain't talking to a female. That's when you step in front of your pops and say, no, pops, I got this. Just like Teofimo did when his pops was pulling him back. He said, no, I got to let this nigga know. No, it's different. I'm different. He pulled away. He didn't yank. He pulled away. No, let me go. I got to let him know. So when he turned to Bill Haney and said, I'm going to talk to you. I know you're the boss. That's when Devin should have stepped in front of Bill and said, hey, Pops, I got it, man. Let me handle this nigga. I got this. It's difference, man. It's a difference in the way Teofimo handled this dialogue between them, this public encounter. It was good for TV, man. It was good for motherfucking TV, dog. Makes no sense for any black fighters. Okay, hold on for a second. Makes no sense for any black fighter to be franchised other than Mel Charlo. It makes no sense to me. Maybe Spence only if it can accelerate the Crawford fight. Okay, Mitch, salute to you, man, for always dropping some gems. Damn good insertion. Now, let me itemize what you said. You said it makes no sense for any black fighter. It's not many black fighters that's champions that has a WBC belt. There's a reason for them to be franchised. To be honest, what's the reason? What is the reason for them to be franchised? Errol Spence. What's the reason? Errol Spence said he wanted to be undisputed. Terrence Crawford wasn't coming up here talking that undisputed anthem. Terrence Crawford already been undisputed 140. He knows what that feel like. It don't matter what people think about who he beat to get it. Terrence Crawford in the four-belt era knows what that feeling is about. He understands the euphoria. Yes, sir. He understands that shit. But Errol Spence at 47 is the one that's been talking undisputed. So for him, he's not going to accept no franchise shit. He's not, because it really is not relevant to him facing Crawford. What Teofimo Lopez was able to do was beat the man. You know what I'm saying? He beat the man, you know, for and Luke Campbell for the vacant WBC belt. He already had it. So he's pretty much legitimized, like, what is the relevance for welterweight division for Errol Spence to be franchised? What is the reason? See, what Teofimo Lopez was petitioning the franchise so they can get everything that Lomachenko had. They wanted everything. There was no way they was gonna get the WBC belt because Lomachenko already came off of it. So the next thing on top that supersedes the super title is the franchise belt. So Vasil Lomachenko had it and they wanted it. So they had to petition for it. Why sit up here and say, well, we're going to fight Lomachenko and we ain't going to petition for the franchise belt? Devin Haney don't have a piece of the puzzle right now unless they wouldn't have petitioned for the franchise. If they were sitting up there with the WBA all the way to the WBO, then it will look more interesting while we on this YouTube shit. To say, okay, fight Devin Haney. You ain't WBC champion. You didn't petition Lomachenko for the franchise, and you don't have the WBC championship that Lomachenko used to have when he beat Luke Campbell, that he vacated. So now what? But that isn't the situation. It's much more complicated now because he was able to petition, and he is the franchise belt. So the only one that's left in the closet, that's left with a parking boot, is Devin Haney, because Mauricio Suleiman is not there to pretty much chaperone or babysit Devin Haney to say, you know what, since you keep on asking me 1,000 times and I keep on ignoring you, I give it to you, okay? In 2028, all right? If you want to come back down from welterweight to this division where it all started, I'll give you the shot. All right, that sounds good, buddy? 2028, if you're still good, your metabolism's right, your nutrition says okay, and I check with Lopez, according to what y'all got going on, you know, we can all return to the lightweight division and fight for that recognizable WBC title. Okay, buddy? It's not going to happen, Mitch. And Mel Charlo, man, it makes no sense to even talk about Mel Charlo because, you know, it would have been great right then and there when Canelo initially became franchise. And you know, he may have only had 1 or 2 fights and he was considering dropping back down Mel Charlo. But, you know, we can say what we want. We can say, well, you know, Mel Charlo turned down the fight with Canelo. Canelo turned down the fight with Charlo. Either way it goes, Charlo's name wasn't something that was there standing at the front door to fight Canelo Alvarez when he finally became franchise. It wasn't nothing there for Mel Charlo. I'm not even going to give him no shine, man. Please. Sir King on deck. World Combat Sports. Salute. Salute to the wrenches and salute to the chats. Smash the like button. Appreciate you there, Sir King. All day, every day, man. Appreciate what you do. I think Lubin is still number 1. Now we switching divisions. we switching off the topic at hand. The topic at hand is this encounter with Teofimo Devin Haney. I think Lubin is still in number 1 WBC rankings, but he already got knocked out cold by Mel Charlo. That's the secret franchiser. No, man, like, listen. After Mel Charlo coming off that performance against Brian Castano, there's no way that now he should petition for a franchise just to allow Lubin to pick up the WBC belt. It's not a good look. It's not a good look, shawty. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, he's not even showing Lubin any love. Like, coming off that performance against Jason Rosario, where he was hurt in the first round and then he stopped him. Mel Charlo ain't giving Lubin any love because he knocked him out already. So what does a franchise got to do with it? You think he really don't want to fight Lubin? You really think Mel Charlo think he can't beat Erickson Lubin? He still believes that in his heart of hearts, bro. Mel Charlo believes, man, that he can still knock out Erickson Lubin. D. Hodges, OG, on deck. What's good? Say, what up, World Combat Sports Chat Salute. Appreciate you, man. What's good with you? I think this encounter right here, man, is just, it just shows who is took a little bit more steps in life to understand what this boxing shit is about. Like, just think about it. The fight between Teofimo Lopez and George Kambosos has been postponed like 3 times. One freaking fight. All the hoopla that was behind this shit coming off the purse bid, bro. Then to get postponed, delayed. All the money that was spent only to basically abort mission at the end and allow the secondary purse bid to take over because they were second in line. Matchroom. Oh my God, man. And we should have known the zone was going to put on a card and this may happen. Since they're putting on the Kambosos, this provides more exposure, just like Devin Haney and Gary Russell was going at it on YouTube. I think the several weeks of Russell situation, Terrence Crawford and Haney, it was much more exposure than this could ever be, for real. Like the weeks and the hours that was put into that charade and everything, only to go in and fight the same opponent, Gamboa, and held that same fight date on November. It was, what I'm saying? It was smart, dog. It was smart. You know what I'm saying? But this right here, I don't want to put it in the same category as Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence. Because there's no category right now, man. It's no category for these 2 fighters right here. Because the one that's holding all the cards, man, that people are not going to like is Teofimo, dog. If you keep on poking, motherfuckers are going to get spiteful. And at first, they understand, okay, he wants to fight. Okay, cool. But don't come try to outprice yourself and think just because you say I'm making more money than you, you're supposed to be the A side when I have all the belts. That shit ain't gonna be a Canelo Gennady when it comes to Teo and Haney. It's not gonna happen, man. So when you talk about this fight possibly being in 24 or later on up the line, it may never happen. Especially with the mentality that's been going on with these type of encounters. Not just in public. I'm talking about encounters online. You know what I'm saying? The fact that Rolly Romero, who's a good friend with Teofimo Lopez, he was on there calling Devin Haney all sorts of names and bitches and all that shit. But yeah, he chose to fight an in-house fighter, the motherfucking pit bull in the stable, Gervonta Davis. So his knockout is coming. Rolly's knockout is coming. But I commend him for taking that fight. Floyd was right. He said he's going to fight in-house fighters. So be it. But with this fight right here, bro, I would definitely like to see it. You know what I'm saying? I'd definitely like to see it, man. We all know boxer versus puncher. We all know that it'll make for a very exciting fight. But we need to stop talking about this disrespect only because it come to Bill Haney, man. Seriously, real talk. We need to stop that shit. Bill Haney ain't no angel. That's neat. I know it's a lot of people over here who support him. I respect what Bill Haney got going on in life and with his son. I do. We do. But calling another man bitch ass nigga, I ain't never been that in life. And I'm not sitting up here holding no grudge on and nothing. But don't come up here just because it sound right to say it. And don't come up here and make it seem like it's easy when we're talking about boxing. Bitch ass niggas are personal. Look, the feedback that I said about Devin was the truth. Other people said it. Look, it wasn't nobody calling up to the network and saying, "Hey, this is BH. I'm gonna talk to that bitch ass nigga." No. The fact that your son resume is marginal, that's what it is. The one thing about Michael Williams Sr., he'll tell you what the plan is, and he'll tell you the reason why he's implementing that plan with his son. He's not going out here faking the funk and saying, yeah, we trying to sit up here and fight motherfuckers that's coming off the damn mental asylum. We want the craziest motherfucker on earth. But his weight, his weight is good. Let's go. And you say he killed how many people? Oh, that's the ones we want right there. That's not it. Me and him the same age. I don't get what y'all cats sitting up here saying disrespect though. Like, he's disrespectful too to it when it comes to a point. But for me, it was never freaking personal. I look at Devin Haney's record in the lightweight division, and a lot of people outside of myself has basically mentioned about the names that's on it. It's marginal. The three people that Teofimo fought to get where he needed to be holds way more value than the way that Devin Haney received the titles and the individuals that's on his record. It may not sit well with BH, but it's not anything personal. You can't sit up here and let other people absolutely disrespect you, but you're mad at that. I'm saying that your son record is marginal. I kept it light. I kept it very professional, and I'm past it. Even from that point to this point, he still has to build up his record. Fighting Gamboa and then fighting Jorge Linares, I absolutely gave him his props and going in there putting on a boxing clinic on Jorge Linares. That had everything to do with me looking at the fight and giving him what was just due. I didn't think the shit against Gamboa was anything special, period. But I did think he boxed the ears off Linares, and then he was caught once. But when it comes to, him fighting Teo, that's going to be a totally different fight for Haney, bro. Come on, man. It's going to be a totally different fight, bro. Y'all either, want to talk about these encounters with enlightenment and understand that trash talking happens in boxing. Cool. But don't come up here soft like a wet cotton ball and shit, like trash talking. We should only respect certain people. Okay, if you want to hate a certain fighter for whatever reason, then cool, for whatever. But I'm not going to put that much energy in hating a fighter just because I want to support another. That's the same shit I advocate against when it comes to Wilder. Period. It's not like you have a lot of Fury fans. You just have a lot of Deontay Wilder haters. So in this particular case, you have a split forum of boxing fans. One side support Teo, and one support freaking Devin Haney. Both whom are undefeated. Both are undefeated, man. And you want to know another thing? Devin Haney has almost 10 more fights, professional fights, on his roster, on his register than Teofimo. But Teofimo has done more to his credentials and accolades than Devin Haney has done in those extra 10 fights in his career, period. That's fact, period. That's fact, people. And another thing we need to understand, right? Listen, if you're gonna jump in the chat, right? Understand that majority of the time, regardless of who I'm speaking on, I keep it as authentic as possible. But one thing I am known for is not being one of those people who's persuaded to just speak with the masses and go with the current. I don't care if it's not 100 people in my live chat. That's all good. I have the platform to speak on what I want to speak on. I have the right to support the fighters that I support. Whether it's from 150 to Wilder to Terrence Crawford to Teofimo Lopez. I have the right to support who I feel like. But y'all have to understand one thing. Y'all need to bring this same energy back to Mauricio Suleiman, who isn't allowing Devin Haney to move out of that slot. That is the ultimate problem right there. It doesn't have anything to do. Look, of course, if Team Lopez was to go up there and say, listen, Mauricio, let's try to make this fight. And they're going to sit down. Mauricio going to say, okay, let's talk. What you're talking about. And they'll go over everything. Devin Haney, Team Haney won't be there. You know, Team Lopez, the one that's holding all the belts, to say, okay, this is what we're trying to do, blase, 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 and they'll talk about it. And ultimately, Mauricio Suleiman can make a decision off that. But look, let's be honest. It's not going to happen anytime soon. Listen, he gets through George Kambosos. The way I've been hearing, they've just been playing games. Did you hear Lopez's father say, call Devin Haney a bum again? That's how he truly feels about Devin. He feels he ain't fought nobody. That's how he truly feels, bro. He truly feels he ain't fought nobody. I'm being honest. That's truly coming from his heart. That's how he feels. So when a person feels that way, their mentality is, we're not just going off a motherfucking name. We got a name. He said, we got a name. We're trying to fight other big names. So in the process, he don't feel that Devin Haney is a big name. Just because you have a WBC belt, he feels that the resume doesn't hold enough equity comparable to his son to make a fight. He just feel like if they was to step in the ring with Haney, they would just be obliging Haney with an opportunity to fight for the belts. They truly don't feel that going in there, beating Haney and giving him his first defeat on his record would do what for his career? He's pretty much did everything he could do as far as belts in the lightweight division. If he goes in there and defeats Devin Haney and pick up the WBC belt, I'm going to tell you what they're going to do. They're going to make I'm talking about, let me find the word. They're going to make such a spectacle of Haney's belt. They're going to take a couple of pictures with it. But just because it was his belt, they're going to make a grand spectacle of it. And then we're going to have people on YouTube crying and whining, oh, they disrespect the WBC belt. No, this is what you wanted. You wanted the fight to happen. And I've gave scenarios on both sides. So don't go crying, talking about on one side and all this other shit. I've given scenarios on what Team Haney should do. They should petition the franchise belt if they fight Teofimo and wipe the table clean. And when it comes to Teofimo Lopez, they have everything. They don't have to petition for shit. The WBC belt that Haney has is going to be on the line. The only one that has to put in paperwork is Team Haney to petition for the franchise. So when they fight, everything comes off the table. It's for all the marbles. But if Teofimo takes his WBC belt, they're going to make a spectacle. They're going to downplay it. They're going to make it seem like a joke, all that shit. They're going to say, we don't want that belt. We just did it. I just wanted to show you. Just like he said at the end of the video. What did he say? Don't come up here talking that shit after knock your boy out.
Okay.
Watch how he roll up on him with a smile.
Y'all fake it till y'all make it. What y'all do, man? Y'all don't want to fight. Y'all don't want to fight.
We don't want to fight. We can make it happen.
We can make it happen.
We can definitely make it happen.
You're on the zone.
My thing is like, yo, y'all do all this, but y'all don't really want to fight.
Can we do it right here on the zone?
Yo, we can do it anywhere. We can do it on ESPN.
I just want to stop it. Look, I just want to stop it right there because Bill is directing and talking to Teofimo Lopez, which is the son of Teofimo Jr. All right? He is directing verbal traffic to Teofimo, and Teofimo is talking to Bill respectfully. He said, what are y'all doing? What are y'all doing? Y'all don't want to fight. And look, I haven't even brought on deck yet the meeting with Bob. I haven't even mentioned it yet. The meeting with Bob. Teofimo is talking to Bill. Bill is doing all the traffic. So that make it seem like that he's the motherfucking boss, man. How are you saying T.O.'s disrespecting when Bill is actually taking charge of the dialogue right off the rip when T.O. walk up and said, what are y'all doing? What are y'all doing? Fake it till you make it. What are you doing? Y'all don't want to fight. Y'all don't want to fight. What are you doing? And Bill say, y'all on the zone now. They only on the zone to fight George Kambosos. They're not there for a 2-fight deal, and the next fight is with freaking Devin Haney. And yeah, Mitch said earlier that his dad was capping. Of course, because if they have a fight in November or December, how can they turn around in January and fight Devin? It's not going to happen, bro. You know what I'm saying? Well, watch this video, though, man. Come on, man.
Y'all fake it till y'all make it.
Who's directing traffic?
What y'all do, man? Y'all don't want to fight. Y'all don't want to fight.
We don't want to fight. We can make it happen.
We can make it happen.
We can definitely make it happen.
You're on the zone.
My thing is like, yo, y'all do all this, but y'all don't really want to fight.
Can we do it right here on the zone?
Yo, we can do it anywhere.
He never said yes.
It don't matter. It don't matter.
It don't matter. We can do it anywhere.
That don't mean nothing.
When you finish with Kambosos,
Y'all hold that belt. Otherwise, y'all ain't bring it today. I'm surprised
Then you
y'all
fight in fucking January. Let's do that.
are we gonna fight
right back to that.
Cap.
Are we gonna fight on the zone?
Look at y'all. Look at y'all. What you talking about? Yo, I'm definitely on, man. I eat shit, bro. I eat shit. I'm hungry. I eat with my motherfucking hands. I eat with my motherfucking hands.
Are we doing it?
I eat
Look up to your head bullshit.
No. I just want to let him know. I just want to let him know what I'm all about. I just want to what's up. You don't want to do it. You don't want to do it. Because I ain't pussy, nigga. Nah, never been. Not on my blood. Never been, bro. I'm from Georgia, nigga. Yo, you been fat from a silver spoon your whole life. I know that shit. Hell, yo, sign the fucking contract. Nobody, bro.
What contract, Bob? What happened to the meeting with 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 Bob? Exactly. What happened to the meeting? What the fuck?
I had to stop it right there because he's going with Devin and Bill. His dad just chilling and doing some other shit. T.O.'s talking to Bill and Devin to Bill. What is the disrespect? He say, what happened to the meet with Bob? What happened to the meet with Bob? What happened to the meet with Bob? And Bill, you know, he's asking the question, when do you want to fight? When do you want to fight? You are not running the shit over at the zone. You are a microcosm over there at Match Rome. You're not running shit, period. Teofimo and his pops isn't running shit over there at the zone. Neither one of them are running anything over there. So just say, when you want to fight, when you want to fight. Let me go get with Eddie. That's the same shit. Then T.O. got to say, let me get with Bob. Let me get with David. You know, pretty much David, as you don't know, David, he's pretty stern. He's pretty damn accurate when he goes in here and negotiate shit for T.O. Everybody in boxing has their little controversy, whatever you want to say. But David McWater, man, he pretty much knows what he's doing. All I hear is Bill advocating for the zone. So when Devin at the end, I didn't even, put the whole video up there when he's saying capping 100 damn times. You're capping when you're saying you're independent, but yet you're still advocating for the zone because you want Eddie Hearns to basically set the chessboard up. You want Teofimo and them to come over here in a background, in a backyard rather, that you feel comfortable with, that really they may not even truly give a fuck about you, but you want to have it over here in the zone. What is the reward? Look, Team Haney, what is the reward that you're looking for? Fighting on the zone, what is your reward? You think, oh, I get more money. You're Devin Haney Promotions, right? Are you going to get more money? What are you doing? Why do you want so much to fight on the zone as if Teofimo's going to come in there with the B-side? Somebody tell me that shit. Somebody tell me. What is your play? What influence do you have with trying to encourage him to fight on the zone, dog? What is it? Just help me out. What is it? The benefit is going to happen. You think it's going to set the chessboard and negotiations is going to go everything y'all way, and David McWater is going to come in there dumbfounded? People don't look past the first layer. They don't know there's other underlying layers to this negotiation process. They're just looking at, you find the zone, anywhere. He never said yes. Look how quick of a thinker T.O. is. Anywhere. We can do it anywhere. He never said yes. And his pops have said yes to Devin Haney fighting T.O. before. It didn't mean a motherfucking thing, y'all. It means absolutely nothing. T.O. said we fight anywhere. Anywhere. We can do it anywhere. What is anywhere? Is anywhere confirmation saying yes? Absolutely not. So what does it mean? It means zero, man. It's garbage. It means nothing. A verbal confirmation means nothing. You know how they say, it's your word. It means nothing unless you then put it to ink. Shaking on it means nothing. It's just a physical show, a gesture saying, hey, this is what we talked about and we shook on it. That's it. The only time it really matters is when you're making little bets and you have physical, you're able to locate the person, physical contact. Hey, man, we shook on it, bro. Give me my money. Give me my money, dog. Hey, nigga, give me my money. No, give me my money. No, you ain't going to make it off the block. Give me my money. Somebody tell me, man. Somebody tell me, because I'm looking at this shit at the end of the video, and he's having a freaking a conversation with Bill and Devin at the same time. So are people still mad at what T.O. said about another boxer? I mean, you can't sit up here and be mad at motherfuckers that talk trash and they fight for a living. You have some dysfunctional cats that's in boxing. You know why? Because there's no prerequisites, bro. I told y'all that several times. If you have killers, criminals, individuals that's not considered the A standard in life, that's able to contend in the sport of boxing, learn how to fight, goddammit, and go in there and make a living. why are y'all sitting up here acting like this is how it all began? Boxing has always had people from all walks of life jump into the sport and do what they had to do. I tell y'all, man, y'all sit up here and praise the shit out of the wrong people. Y'all act like Mike Tyson. They never did shit wrong in life. But y'all sitting up here talking about, T.O. disrespecting. Come on, man. Bro. Man, how much shit talking goes on social media? Y'all ain't putting that into the motherfucking cachet and say, you know what? This is my to-do list. Let me bulletize this motherfucker 1 through 10 of all the damn subjects, topics I want to talk about disrespect. Man, come on now. Bruce goes on deck. How you feeling, man? I think it will make more money on Top Rank. I do too, man. Because anybody who knows their D Hodges knows this. That the most hype that streaming company Zone has ever received is when Eddie Hearn came out trying to convince the people that he signed on a $1 billion deal with his own. $1 billion, right? But then people didn't read in between the fine lines. Like they like to talk about, wow, the contract that he turned down for Anthony Joshua, right? They didn't read in between the lines that it was contingency. It was contingency on that $1 billion. No one wants to really talk about that. But let's see how it works out, man. I've been on here for close to 2 hours. Let's see how it works out, man. That's all I can say is that, when it comes down to these two, will it happen anytime soon? I don't know, but I know I can say this. I think it's much closer than we'll get with Crawford Spence. I think the only thing that's between them is a choice. You know what I'm saying? I think what's between them is a choice. If they make the choice to fight Devin Haney, how is it going to benefit them? Because right now they're trying to make as much money as they possibly can in boxing. Both of them. But for Team Lopez, they're also trying to fight the top tier fighters for a legacy. So if he moves up to 140, which has been a lot of talk for him moving up to 140, him and Josh Taylor would be a damn good fight, especially if he still has the belts, if Teofimo moves up to 140. I don't know when Devin Haney's planning on leaving this division. This division right now is getting watered down with Capiones. It's capping. I mean, it's a lot of cappers in the lightweight division. They have a lot of good names, but for Jojo Diaz to finally move up, and I'm going off the thread a little bit, right? For Jojo Diaz to move up and all that bullshit, to have one fight and win against Javier Fortuna, but then come up with all this shit that, he want to face Ryan Garcia. I mean, come on, man. You have the opportunity to go in there and fight for the damn WBC title. Do it. And then Ryan Garcia, he gets injured. It's probably a capping injury. You know what I'm saying? Cap it. A lot of these motherfuckers got that damn capping 16 syndrome. For real, they got that virus, that capping 16. They got that capping 16, man. Motherfuckers coming down with it in the lightweight division. I don't know why. They need to start testing for that shit before they even come close to getting behind the mic. You got too many motherfuckers in the lightweight got that capping 16 syndrome. For real. They got that damn strand, that capping 16 strand. I'm telling you. Was it some capping in this encounter? Absolutely. There was some capping going on because when it comes down to it, the contract is nowhere in the proximity. It's nowhere even close, man. People just, sit back and look and they say, oh man, this is good for TV. This is good for TV. You know, let the zone get some airtime, some free promo for freaking the counter. I should have known. And, you know, I said this to myself. I say, it's no way that this fight with Kambosos and Lopez is going to happen on the zone without him running into Devin Haney. Sure enough, you look at the thumbnail right there. I just don't. If you're listening, I just don't understand what is the pussy about. Like, this is not preschool. This is not the motherfucking playground, dog. Like, what the fuck? What are you supposed to get? You supposed to turn a motherfucker's life around and say, you know, I'm gonna turn you into a person you never been just by calling you a word that's been used forever and a day. And one creation, you know, it's all about comfort and pleasure and intimacy. And then the other one, it's all about, you know, you're trying to say, I'm acting like something that is supposed to be fruit to a man. Well, in these days, a man and a woman, you know what I'm saying? But that's supposed to be a fruit, a pleasure. So the same people up here talking about they ballers and players, and they, you know, they got this girl and that girl. Then they sit up here and call another man pussy. I guess I'm just breaking that shit down differently, because you're trying to say a pussy is inferior. You know what I'm saying? A pussy is something that's getting fucked, so to speak. So you're trying to call another man pussy because a pussy is inferior. But really, if you look at it, a pussy is pretty much the power jewel of it all. That pussy can change lives, bro. It does every day. Don't let me start breaking that shit down when it comes to boxing. I just don't see it. Like, I understand we use a lot of words in English because it sounds good, but really, if you really just provide some analytics to what is the definition? Like, what are you trying to portray here? The man has more belts than you. How can he be a pussy, man? And for anybody getting mad that Teofimo called him a nigga, man, come on. We passed that shit, dog. Man, he's Latino, for God's sake. That's not the first time we heard the word, man. Stop it. Yeah, I mean, next y'all be trying to say that, you know, he's racist or anything. Man, come on, stop, man. Stop. I don't know, man. Got a lot of work to do with this one. We have a lot of work. Let me see. Hold on for a second. Let me see. Let me cross thread on some other news. Otto Wallin, Dillian White. You know, people trying to pick up steam on this particular fight. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion, Otto Wallin is the better boxer out of the two. They supposed to be going down October 30th. You know? So in case any one of y'all is looking forward to see Dillian White, Otto Wallin, I'm definitely watching the fight. For real. And I think it's going to be a sleeper, man. You know, it's going to be a sleeper. My opinion, I will talk about this on a different live, but I believe that Dillian White is going to be outboxed. If Otto Wallin can be smart and understand that Dillian White is very strong in the early frame of the fights, which he do. I mean, I'm not going to say if he do, being that he haven't really tasted his power. If he boxes him, he will win, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, he'll win. I heard out here that Anthony Joshua was visiting Canelo Alvarez, you know, potentially. Former heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua in the U.S. has visited two gyms, one of them being Canelo Alvarez gym. let's not say he's changing trainers or anything, right? I know it's boxers go to different gyms all the time, but Anthony Joshua going to Canelo Alvarez's gym, I'm not sure what he's looking for. Like, unless he's willing to change up who he is as a person and fight with more risk and work on his cardio, I don't know, man. I don't know why he's there. Because we all know that Canelo Alvarez and Anthony Joshua have two different styles. They're two different type of boxers, period. They're cut from a different cloth. And I'm not saying he can't learn anything, but why is he even there, though? At this stage in his career, two-time unified heavyweight champion, why are you there? What are you trying to learn? What are you willing to basically take a step back and be receptive to what they teaching you over there? Are you going over there for the beef? Or are you going over there to get some training? Please let me know. I don't get that at all. But he can do what he want, man. I always say he was overrated, and it still stands to this day. And the last topic I'm gonna talk on is Terrence Crawford, Sean Porter. They're saying it's a 50-50 fight, says Tim Bradley. I'm going off Boxing 24. I don't really like. I know a lot of people concerning these two names, Crawford and Spence. They always want to say, there's no way Spence should get paid more. But for Sean Porter, a 50-50 fight. 50-50 fight in a sense of them going in there and competing against one another, I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't see Sean Porter having what it takes to beat Terrence Crawford at this stage in his career. I don't see it. As far as pay shouldn't be 50-50. Pay shouldn't be 50-50, in my opinion. That's just me. Just because Sean Porter has been two-time champion at welterweight, and then, he's without a belt right now, Terrence Crawford holds the WBO, I still feel that Terrence Crawford should come in there with the edge when it comes to monetary negotiations. But when you're talking about performance at this stage in both of their careers, we can both agree that Sean Porter is taking more damage than Terrence Crawford. We can agree on that. We can agree on that. It doesn't matter if you keep on coming in there as the Tasmanian devil and they cracking you over the head with a sledgehammer and you keep on coming forward. That's damage. God damn, did you see when he came through that mother? Oh boy, hit him with a sledgehammer. He kept coming. That's damage. They're not punching you in the ankle. They're cracking you in your motherfucking head. That's damage. Terrence Crawford is taking less damage, in my opinion, when it comes to blunt force trauma, punches to the head in his career than Sean Porter. That's just me. People want this to be a 50-50 fight just so it can be a bit brighter to the interest of the boxing fans. People want to look at it like, well, we're not getting Spence Crawford, so let's get Crawford Porter. Let's elevate that in the interest of the boxing public. Let's brighten, turn up the motherfucking dimmers on that muff, so people can tune in and watch it. And I want people to, because I'm definitely going to tune in. It's a solid fight. It's a solid fight for both fighters. Sean Porter has enough left to say, okay, people give him a chance. They will provide him a window, even though it's cracked already. They'll provide him a window to go in here and do work with Terrence Crawford. They'll give him enough. Like I said before, the window's cracked for a reason, because when this fight does happen and the bell ring, he's going right back out that window. I don't see him at any way, shape, or form pulling out a decision. I don't see him going in here dominating Terrence Crawford to the point where he's going to be stronger in the fight just because he has that aggressive, come forward, brawling type style. Terrence Crawford is much stronger than people give him credit for, man. And they're gonna see that, just like they seen it in Porter versus Spence. Crawford is a different individual when it comes to this perception of his boxing fans. He's much stronger than people give him credit for, man. He has much more tenaciousness than people give him credit for, because, you know, he's reserved and he really don't become active until it's time to step into that ring. I'm telling you, he's a different type of animal in there, man. Sean Porter, yes, he gives you that that forceful present pressure. He gives you that aggressive nature, that in your chest, head to head. The one thing Crawford's going to have to be worried about is a headbutt, goddammit, getting cut early by Sean Porter. If you think Sean Porter ain't coming in there and motherfucking try to rough Crawford up, man, come on. Let's not laugh this shit off there. You know that's the damn one of them damn the motives right now, to come in there and freaking rough Crawford up and potentially get a cut early. He's going to try to be in his chest, be in his space, make him uncomfortable. Sean Porter doesn't have power like that, but Terrence Crawford does. It's not like Porter hasn't faced a southpaw. He has. He has. So you know, he has options on switching up how he wants to present his offensive strategy to Sean Porter. He has options, bro. You know what I'm saying? This is options here. We're talking about options. We're talking about the fight. We're talking about options. Who has more options in the fight? Who has a more variety to their boxing cachet? Terrence Crawford, period. But people, it's been a pleasure, man. We're gonna get back to, you know, this, you know, at a later date. Of course, it is some boxing that's going on always. Let me check one more area right quick. And you know, shout out to Corey Anderson. He was let go by the UFC, man, for his first round knockout stoppage to Johnny Walker, bro. Johnny Walker was on a hiatus. I mean, he had a superb performance against Johnny Walker. Let me take that back. And he was on the high for a minute, and then he got stopped in the first round, and the UFC let the man go. And then he seemed to find his second win, man, of resurgency over there at Bellator. So he's in this, you know, tournament over there, this heavyweight tournament where he just came off fighting another former UFC fighter in Ryan Bader, who was the light heavyweight and the heavyweight champion at Bellator before he lost. And then Corey Anderson goes in there and knock out Ryan Bader in the first round, bro. In the first freaking round. Jeez. Like, I gotta give it up to him, man. Like, it's amazing how your career can look like it's in the tank. Like, real talk, people counting you out, your career look like it's done and over, man. Then you go to another organization. I don't know, man. It just doesn't. This is something that can happen in mixed martial arts, for real. But I don't see it happen too much in boxing like that, because it's just like you don't get the same effect in boxing because the promotions are, you know, open-ended. The promotions in boxing is open-ended, unlike the freaking promotions in MMA, where fighters fight internally to the promotion. You know what I'm saying? That's a unique dynamic when it comes to MMA. The fighters fight internally to the circulation of fighters internal to that promotion. And then you go to Bellator, you fight the fighters in that promotion. You don't have cross-threading of promotions. So when Corey Anderson was knocked out in round 1 by Warren Blachowicz, right? Warren Blachowicz is the light heavyweight champion. I said heavyweight earlier for Corey Anderson, but when he was stopped in the UFC, man, he was stopped in the first round by Warren Blachowicz. You know what I'm saying? And Warren Blachowicz is a current light heavyweight champion in the UFC. So after coming off that incredible win against Johnny Walker, who he stopped in the first round. I mean, Johnny Walker was on the climb. He was doing pretty decent. Corey shut his ass down, man. And they said, okay, we're going to give you a title shot. Boom, he gets stops in 1 round, goes over to Bellator, and now he's in the finals, the light heavyweight finals, dog. He's in the light heavyweight finals, man, to fight a real tough competitor in Nemkov. I mean, I'm happy for him. He's 32 years old, man, and he has a resurgency to his career. For real. I mean, he has a resurgency. He's on a 3-fight win streak over there at Bellator. He went in there and defeated Melvin Manoff. Everybody who knows and watched freaking K1 kickboxing and mixed martial arts, you know who Manoff is. And then Shamaradov, he went in there and stopped in round 3. And then, of course, Ryan Bader, who is also a former UFC fighter, he stopped in round 1, man, 51 seconds. God damn. But keep your eye out for this tournament, the light heavyweight tournament, man. It's crazy. It's very, very crazy, man. But that's about it, people. I appreciate everyone for pulling up, shawty, for real. Appreciate everyone for pulling up. And once again, if you didn't know, shout out to Michael Williams Jr., man, for getting that Alabama State welterweight title. Damn good fight yesterday. He ended up getting a second round stoppage. And he's doing big thing. He's 19-0 right now. So give it up to the ones that absolutely understand how the process should be. For some fighters, it shouldn't be a rush. Build your record up. It's not an easy job. I compliment his pops all the time on being a genius to his creativity in the sport of boxing. And I even said, some people should hire him for the sport because he's been around the sport for quite some time. I have a video that's coming out that he pretty much talks about when he was over in Mexico and he's seen Canelo back in the day, and he didn't. He just had so much going on to the point when he was over there with a former world champion Vivian Harris that he didn't take a picture with Canelo. That was way back in the day, but he would tell you anytime, any place, if you say, "Hey, man, maybe you should." Apply your presence in the sport of boxing to help out some of these fighters. He said, no, it's all about my son right now. That's what it's about. I get my son the way he needs to be, then I'll consider that. But right now, it's all about him. That's who it's about. And, it's not, people sit back and look at it and say, oh, you're just going out here fighting anyone. Listen, his pops will tell you who they fighting. I mean, that is the most strategic, open-minded response that you can get. Somebody that's going to give you the facts. He say, I'll tell you what I'm doing. And he's at 19-0 right now, man. Good shit, dog. You know what I'm saying? Very smart. Creative genius. People can, say what they want or whatever. But you look around the landscape of boxing. There's plenty of fighters who start their career off with just that. You know why they're able to do that? Because almost anybody, if you pass the test to get your license, you can go in as an 0-0 professional fighter without any amateur experience. That's boxing. That's boxing. That is absolute boxing, y'all. You can go in there with no amateur experience, get your professional license, go in there and take a loss, be 0-1, but that person right there that you fought, they're trying to build their record up. So now, if that was their second fight, They're 2-0 right now. 2-0 actually looks good on people. You know what I'm saying? Then 3-0. That looks good because you still have an unblemished record. And you still can move on. And people's like, what's your record? Oh, I'm undefeated. Sometimes you can say undefeated and you don't have to really say what the number is. So how many wins you got? I'm 3-0. I'm undefeated. You know what I'm saying? It's still an undefeated record. But man, I appreciate it. Salute to everyone that pulled up in the live chat. You absolutely know what it is. Much love and appreciation for the support. Turn up and tune in to World Combat Sports. Until next time.
Pardon me and my tone. You can't step to my throne. They ain't working like me. I did this on my own. You asking where we been, huh? I don't know where to begin, huh? All this dirt on my skin. I just came here to win. I'm more than a man. Pardon me and my tone. You can't step to my throne. They ain't working like me. I did this on my own. You asking where we been, huh? I don't know where to begin, huh? All this dirt on my skin. I just came here to win. I'm more than a man, I'm a monster. Somebody call a pastor, doctor. I got a 6 sense for imposters. So now I'm coming for the whole roster. It's not a game, why you playing with me? You could double back, lose track, try and hang with me. It must be in my veins, something you can't tame, cause I break the game. Can't control me. I got the power, I got the keys, cause I break the chains. They try to hold me, I'ma push back, just wait and you'll see. Please excuse me, your honor, but you can't hold me no longer. Can't you feel the vibrations? I broke out and left traces. Go ahead, try catch me if you can, man. You'll be looking all night, I'm the Sandman. New York, London to Japan. I'ma show the whole world who I am. Boom, boom, boom. Major look.